Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Early Edge. We are brought to you by BetMGM. Make it legendary. Farzad is in here. Liddy, Joe Neuenfeld, David Tock, Rick Funkin, and Jeff Stenberg, Richard Pierre. The entire family is in the chat. Hit the like button if you could. Maybe you'll like the recap screen. Listen, we had a winning record. It wasn't a great day. We're 4-3. Good job to Larry Hartstein, Mike McClure. I hit my DAC under the Eastern Washington UCLA pick from Bruce Marshall came in. We've got another Bruce Marshall pick on the show today. And I got to give a shout out to Larry Hartstein because not only did he hammer Cardinals plus 3.5, but he hit the first touchdown score, Marvin Harrison. And it looks like some of you in the chat tailed him on that, which we absolutely love to see. Let's see who we've got on the show today. A great show and a great team. We've got Chip Patterson clapping it up already. We got buckets. We got Jeff Hochman, which must mean NHL and maybe some NFL. And we've got Tom Casale, who may or may not be having some connection issues. So we'll just have to wait and find out on that. Buckets, how you doing today?
Good, Sia. What about you?
Oh, wow. Really? That's okay. I'm great. Thank you for asking. Chip Patterson, how we doing today?
Oh, fantastic. I know my good friend Tom Casale is excited about the return of college basketball as well. Tonight, I've got Maction football picks. Don't worry, Sia. I haven't warmed up the Chipalytics just yet, but that Bruce Marshall winning pick has me wanting to turn your attention to the post-game press conference of UCLA coach Mick Cronin, where he absolutely laid into his team's defensive issues and said, I'd fire myself based on their own effort with defense and rebounding. Of course, Bruce Marshall told you to take the over, so the Bruins having a completely woeful defensive effort meant winners for everybody who followed it, and a green check on the recap screen. But yeah, college basketball started yesterday, so I'm warming up over here, Sia, but I'm still locked in on my college football.
Cronin's always a fun watch. Like on the sideline, in the press conferences. You absolutely love to see it. Jeff, I love to see you. How you doing today? It's only your second time on the show this year. How you feeling, and what type of, don't tell me what the picks are, but what sports are you covering today?
Yeah, thanks, Sia. Always great to be here with the Early Edge family, giving out winners. We got one hockey today and one NFL. Still getting over that Dodger win in the World Series, coming back from down 3-2, winning back-to-back games on essentially a walk-off double play. Game 6 got thrown out at second, the more traditional way to end Game 7. And you got to give credit to Dave Roberts. I mean, every button he pushed in this World Series worked. He put Pajes out in center field. He makes that big catch, tackles Kike Hernandez while doing it. Miguel Rojas, he had a hunch to play him, puts him at second base. He made several defensive plays, saved them the game. Of course, he hit the home run on the hanging slider. And by the way, Jeff Hochman, Blue Jays closer, all you had to do was throw a fastball on the outside corner. Miguel Rojas is not pulling that pitch into the left field pavilion, but I'm not going to complain. 3 World Series in 6 years, back-to-back, first time since 2000. The Yankees did it. And if you're a Blue Jays fan, don't worry. They're going to be back next year. They're a really good team. And I'm just so happy Clayton Kershaw also got to go out as a back-to-back champion. Just fantastic. The parade was yesterday. I taped it. I was working. But, yeah, I'm fired up today. See ya.
Jeff Hochman is old school when he says he taped the parade. You love to hear it. The play at the plate was I thought Toronto was winning it right there. I thought I can't believe he made it in time. I think the runner coming off third was probably a little late with his lead getting to home. But either way, a great World Series. I mean, you get what you pay for, Dodgers fans. That is a slight.
Hey, never a doubt. All of those Dodgers futures that I was never sweating at all. I never wrote those off and thought that they were cooked. Yeah, they all came home. Love to see it, right?
You love to see it. Buckets, I'm noticing that Thorb is in the chat, which we all know why he's here. He's not here for Chip's college football pick. He's not here for Jeff Hochman's NHL pick or for my PGA future. And yeah, we have SportsLine picks and a producer pick related to college basketball and the NBA. Buckets, Thorb is here for soccer picks. Can you help him out?
He's not just here for soccer picks, Sia. He is here for Champions League picks. The champions! I've got 3 plays for everyone this afternoon, and we're going to start with a bit of a scary one here because I, frankly, to be 100% honest, am a little bit scared of Liverpool fans. Actually, they scared the hell out of me, and I'm going to fade them and talk shit about them. Trash about them for the next 50 seconds here. Liverpool hosting Real Madrid. Liverpool beat Aston Villa, and now all of a sudden they're back. They're ready to go under the Champions League European nights at Anfield against one of the most historic clubs in Champions League history. I just don't see it. But all of the money right now is going on Liverpool. People are saying Salah scored a goal. He's back in form. They beat Aston Villa. This is a good squad again. They're all getting things together. They're not. Alexander Isak is still hurt. Florian Wirtz doesn't look like he knows where he is a lot of the time. Salah kind of already checked out. And defensively, one of the worst Liverpool teams we've seen in over a decade now. I am looking at Real Madrid draw no bet at even money, plus 100. And I'm just going to disagree with everyone betting on Liverpool here. I think a pissed off Vinicius Jr., Kylian Mbappe, and the squad that this Real Madrid team have put together are good enough to beat almost everybody right now. And unless Liverpool plays absolutely perfect this afternoon, they are at the very least getting a draw. So give me Real Madrid draw no bet with my little safety net with the push there for bet number 1. That one's for you, Thorb. For number 2, PSG taking on my beloved Bayern Munich. PSG, the reigning champs of Europe. PSG, this team that was inevitably unbeatable for the first few months of the season, are looking a little bit lackluster now, albeit they're still a good squad, still plenty of talent, but they're playing a Bayern Munich side that is having the best start to a European season ever. Full stop. Bayern Munich have played 15 matches across all competitions, and they've won 15 matches straight. That covers Bundesliga, Pokal Cup, and Champions League. Eventually, the pressure is going to build up. Eventually, they're going to give, and Bayern Munich will drop points here. But I don't think they're going to lose this matchup. Maybe a draw, but let's just play this one safe here. Bayern Munich over 1.5 team total at minus 120. If there is a team that's going to take points off of Bayern Munich, they're not going to do it with a KG 0-0 draw. It is going to be fireworks. It is going to be a shootout. This is how Vincent Kompany has the squad playing. Harry Kane, goal scorer, probably worth the play here. Olise, Luis Diaz, so many good attackers for Bayern Munich. I think they get at least 2 here. Finally, Olympiacos versus PSV. I've spent too much time talking about the other plays. Both teams to score and over 2.5 goals at minus 130. Ben, I sent you that play wrong. That's 2.5, not supposed to be 3.5. That's on me. If you want to take over 3.5, I don't hate that either, though, with how this PSV Eindhoven side is playing. Absolutely tremendous attacking football. Absolutely embarrassing defensive football. This might be the highest scoring game of the day.
There's a comment from Out of Time. He says, I grew up 45 minutes from Liverpool. Trust me, you have every reason to be scared. Buckets, your response?
No response.
Yeah. I mean, he basically just captured what you said. By the way,
it's okay. They know that he doesn't live in, they don't know that he lives in Columbus. Oops.
Jeff Hochman,
no.
the phrase full stop, who someone on this show just uttered, yay or nay on using the phrase full stop?
Yay.
It's the wrong answer. Chip Patterson.
I'm not going to yuck your yum. It's not part of my vocabulary.
It's not part of mine either. I heard a guy with a British accent say it, so now I say it a lot.
Was that Martin Green?
Yeah.
Okay. I think Martin Green's on the show tomorrow, everybody. Just an FYI. Tom Casale has rejoined the show. Tom, I know you were having connection issues earlier. How are you doing right now?
I think I'm doing good. Can you hear me?
You can hear you great. You're doing great, in fact. I'll tell you what, maybe it's your turn, Tom. Let's talk about your pick. It's for later on in the week. We got a college football pick for tonight, but yours is for later on in the week. I know you had something related to this pick on SportsLine, so maybe capture that while you're giving out this TCU pick.
Yeah, so I don't do this often, but last week I put in TCU on Friday at -3. Only because I had been waiting for this spot, and I was worried Iowa State, who was struggling, could lose at home to Arizona State, in which case the line would go up, and that's exactly what happened. So now the line's up to about 6.5. So if you didn't get the -3, I think another way you can attack TCU is taking the team total over 31.5. This Iowa State team, about a month ago, they lost both their corners, and since then they just haven't been able to stop anyone. They're allowing 31.5 points per game over their 4-game losing streak. And you look at this game for TCU, this is a big game at home because they're still in the Big 12 race. And I worry about Iowa State now. Not that their head coach isn't trying, but I feel like Matt Campbell's probably not going to be there next year. I know he likes it there, but in this day and age, you got to be kind of crazy to stay at Iowa State if you have other offers from bigger schools. So I just worry about with the injuries. If Iowa State covers and wins, I think they're going to have to outscore TCU. So I would look at the over 31.5. And it's a small slate for college basketball tonight. But I'll give you a lean. Kansas State line went down from 16.5 to 15.5. UNC Greensboro, they lost 93% of their production from last year. They're starting 3 guys from Division II and community college that are making their first start for them. It's going to be a tough ask to go into a Big 12 school. I know Kansas State disappointed last year, but I think they'll be one of the more improved teams in the Big 12. So you can look at that if you want to bet some college basketball.
All right, so if we're laying a lean, it would be Kansas State minus the points, right, Tom? All right.
Yeah.
Chip, before we get to your college football pick, Ben, if you don't mind, let's take a look at the BetMGM promo, because this really, Chip, impacts your pick in any college football tonight. BetMGM account holders will receive a college football odds boost. Just make a college football wager tonight to activate the token. Score extra winnings if your wager that was made with the boost wins, only at BetMGM. Chip Patterson, I guess we could probably make this boost with your pick, correct?
Yeah, absolutely. Lots of different ways to do it. Depends on how juicy you want to get it. So if you were subscribed on SportsLine, and if you do have the notifications turned on, then yesterday you saw that little Miami, Ohio +3 come across your desk. Now it's just 2.5, but you know what, Sia? I'd still take it. So we got +3 for the record for posterity, but I like the Red Hawks to be able to go into Athens and come out with the victory. The sun rises, the sun sets. There's 7 days in a week, 12 months in a year, and Chuck Martin gets the Red Hawks playing their best daggum football when Maction comes around. Because you looked at the way that Miami, Ohio went through the non-conference schedule. They challenged themselves, and they know that they're going to take some losses, but it's to be able to build themselves up so that they're ready to go. And sure enough, what do we see when we look at this Miami team? This is a group that has covered 5 straight games in a row. They are 4-0 against the spread in conference play against MAC opponents. Now, Ohio is great. Like, when I think about the MAC, I understand that Toledo, Miami, Ohio, and Ohio are really in that upper crust, and then we jump down into a tier 2. These are 2 programs that have played a lot, but remember, Ohio's old coach is now at Charlotte. I think we've got a little bit of a coaching advantage. I think that Miami, Ohio is doing exactly what they do during MAC play. They're playing their best football right now. Truly a coin flip game, like the way I handicap this. So for that reason, I love being able to get the hot team with the experienced coach +3 points.
Let me ask you, Chip, there's another game, and Tom, if you have anything to weigh in on here, this other game tonight is at 7 o'clock. It's UMass in Akron. Any thoughts on that one? I only bring it up because it's a CBS Sports Network game. Any thoughts on Akron laying the 9.5 or a team total or anything like that?
Chip or Tom?
Either one.
I mean, listen, have you guys watched UMass?
I mean, it's not good. They haven't won a game.
This is the thing so this was 10 yesterday. It's at 9.5. You're basically saying no one should be favored. Akron is a bottom 5 team in the MAC. UMass is one of the worst teams at the FBS level. So you're just holding on to all hope that the Minutemen can give you 60 minutes, men. And I don't know if you're going to be able to get that out of this group. So I tend to lean with Joe Moorhead and Akron with this one. But good golly, when you're laying more than a touchdown on a weeknight in conference play, it's a pass for me. I'm obviously, on the sickest of sicko type intrigues, I might look and see what happens, because I do think that neither team should be too far from the other, but I'm not going to be taking UMass plus the 9.5.
Tom, any thoughts on either of these 2 games, the one that Chip has the official pick for, or this Akron UMass game?
Yeah, I really like Miami. That's a team that lost 11 starters on offense to begin the season. But as he mentioned, Chuck Martin, probably one of the top 10 college football coaches. In all honesty, I know people don't. It's not a sexy school, but I thought when Chip gave that line out at 3.5, I thought that was good value. I missed the number, so that now it's down to 2.5. I think at some places, but I like them to win outright. I wouldn't bet UMass with your money. They're in the wrong. I mean, in all honesty, they should be back down in FCS. But the game is on CBS Sports, so tune in. I think Akron covers late. It's going to be close for 3.5 quarters. It's going to be back and forth, and then Akron covers late. So make sure you tune into the game.
Let's go Akron fourth quarter spread. That's
Yes.
the way you tune into CBS Sports Network all night. A pre-flop Akron Zips fourth quarter spread. Let's go.
Oh, that's too perfect. That's definitely coming in. All right, let's get to buckets. There's a lot of soccer questions, which we're going to get to. Jeff Hochman, we got to get to your picks as well, of course, in the NFL and NHL. But real quick, a SportsLine pick, and we've got a special producer pick from Ben. The SportsLine pick, courtesy of Bruce Marshall, who hit his yesterday, Nevada, excuse me. Tom, you and me, we're just always going to say Nevada, and everybody else is going to say it allegedly correctly, Nevada. Nevada -8.5 at -110, courtesy of Bruce Marshall. That game, of course, is tonight. And then, Ben, if you don't mind popping on for 30 seconds or more, however long you want, you've got a producer pick, and it's the Clippers +2.5. Is that a first quarter bet?
Yeah, first quarter,
okay.
We are back with the NBA first quarters, which I'm very excited about. And I love betting regression candidates in the NBA, little water finds its level kind of a thing. And I think this is the perfect game for that. Clippers are playing the Thunder, and the Thunder are coming in after winning. I believe they've won 4 in a row. Over the last couple games, they have been playing really well. Bad competition, but playing really well. The Clippers are coming off a loss. They were scoreless in the last 2 minutes of their game last night against the Miami Heat. I think now, still back at home, 7-point underdogs, so we're getting points in this first quarter. I think the Clippers can at least cover the 2.5, if not win the first quarter against the Thunder in this one. They are one of the better first quarter scoring teams at home, over 31 points per game. The Thunder don't score very well away from home in the first quarter. So I think the Clippers, a positive regression candidate here after a very tough loss as a 7-point favorite last night. I think they start the game out hot. This is one of those scenarios where back-to-back games actually might be helpful for the Clippers because they're ready to go. They're trying to make right a bad loss last night. So I think they take advantage. Just watch for the injuries because this team loves to sit and load manage. But I do think if most of the players are healthy, I think they can cover 2.5 in this first quarter.
We just went from Nevada. Sorry, all I heard there, I mean, great take, but all I heard was Nevada, and scenario. Buckets, do you say scenario or scenario?
Scenario.
Me too, Chip.
If you are from a tribe called Quest, you say it however it will fit the rhyming pattern for that particular song with what line was coming before or after. It's flexible.
That's a great answer. Jeff Hochman, how do you say
Scenario, and I say Nevada.
See, okay, so we're all on the same page here. Tom, I got
it. And Gonzaga. We talk about it's basketball. It's Gonzaga and it's Nevada.
Gonzaga, Nevada.
No. It is not the Zogs. It's the Zags.
Yeah, but when you shorten stuff, it sometimes changes. I don't know that analogy is true.
Inconsistencies.
Tom, is it scenario or scenario?
I didn't even know scenario was a word, so it's scenario for me.
Ben, just giving you some stuff right there. I'm going to say stuff. I'm not going to curse like Buckets and what people in the chat addressing it as a potty mouth, I guess. All right, we got to get to more picks. New York Islanders, Baltimore Ravens. That's coming up from Jeff Hochman. We got your soccer questions. I've got a golf future. We got the early wedge tonight at 7:00. By the way, folks, we're going to get to it all right after this message from our partners.
When you need your sports news all the time,
we've got breaking news to bring to you.
CBS Sports HQ gives you a snapshot of all the sports that matter to you. When you need your sports in a snap, find it on CBS Sports HQ, streaming free anywhere you are.
We're back on the Early Edge, brought to you by BetMGM. Make it legendary. Jeff, you started your Early Edge experience off last week pretty legendary. Your first time on the show, you go 2-0 in hockey. You brought a hockey pick today, and you've got a pick in the NFL for Sunday. Talk to me about hockey first.
Yeah, thanks, Sia. There's every so often you get these spots in the NHL and you just get very excited. So right when the line came out, I jumped all over this. We're going to play the New York Islanders. They're -148 when I put it in at SportsLine yesterday. They're playing the Bruins. The Boston has won 3 straight games, despite getting outshot in all 3 games, 103-66. That is a major red flag. And if you ask any NHL head coach, they will tell you the same. Philadelphia ranks 6th in shots for. The Bruins check in at 25th. Shot differential, everyone knows I love this stat in the NHL. New York has a shot differential of +19. Boston is -51. Now, this is also a revenge game for the New York Islanders. Last Tuesday, Boston beat the Islanders 5-2. One of those goals was an empty net goal. And yes, The Islanders outshot Boston in that game 35-22. Now, the Islanders were minus 150 in Boston. They're minus 148 at home. That makes no sense to me. And unlike last week, when I didn't mind taking the regulation line or just parlaying both games, this one is a little bit tougher because it does project as a lower scoring game. And there's only been one overtime game between both these teams this season. And over the last 10 meetings, 3 of the games have gone into overtime between New York and Boston. So lay the juice. I think it's going to get there. Minus 148. It's a fair price for the New York Islanders in this spot. See ya.
All right. New York Islanders minus 148. Now take me to the NFL. Steve Lochner, he heard me say Ravens, and he just can't stop talking about them because that's his team. You like them, correct me if I'm wrong, in Minnesota this weekend.
I love them in Minnesota this weekend. So when the schedule comes out, I always look for these spots. John Harbaugh and Jim Harbaugh are close brothers, right? They talk on the phone. Well, who did the Chargers play last week? They played the Vikings, the same opponent as Baltimore this week. John's going to ask Jim about what they're going to have for dessert on Thanksgiving: apple pie, sweet potato pie, both good options, by the way. They may talk about how the kids are doing. They have a lot of nieces and nephews, obviously. But what they're really going to talk about is football and game film and nuances. What did you see here? What did you see here when you played the Chargers or the Vikings, excuse me? So you give John Harbaugh 3 extra days to prepare and have this info from a common foe, from his brother. And believe me, they talk on the phone. I've tracked this when he was with San Francisco way back, 2011, 2010. Now, it didn't come up that often because they're in different conferences. But last year when he was with, his first year in LA, this worked very well within a 2 to 3 week time period. Also, we know Lamar Jackson, how good he is against the NFC. I believe it's 24-3 right now. And the last game the Vikings played Baltimore, it was 4 years ago. It did not go well for Minnesota. They started Kirk Cousins at quarterback. Ravens are well rested. They're still in desperation mode, and they made a trade late last night. They got edge rusher Draymond Jones from Tennessee. The Titans are officially tanking. He's had at least 1 sack in his last 4 games. He had 1.5 last week. So I really like Baltimore. I got it in at -3, minus 115. If you're a SportsLine member, it's 3.5 right now at DraftKings. I still think that's a great line. It's under 4. And if you just look at the quarterbacks, the rating I have on them, the line, it should be higher. Lamar Jackson, I have just about 7 points better than an average quarterback. And I have J.J. McCarthy 2 points better. And that's probably being a little bit generous. So that's 5 points right there. At Baltimore -3, minus 115, with all the information that John Harbaugh gets from Jim after facing a common foe, let's hammer Baltimore -3, minus 115. And spoiler alert, I write 2 betting articles for the NFL for CBSSports.com every week. One of them is a parlay article. Baltimore Ravens will be in my money line parlay article. They're probably right around minus 170.
Wow. That was quite the dissertation on the Baltimore Ravens. You absolutely love to see it. This is the type of conversation, Jeff, you're in the Discord all the time. If you're a SportsLine member, you get the Discord for free. You can talk to Jeff about stuff like this. Jeff, go ahead.
Yeah, I put them right in the Discord right before I make the bet because usually they do move. So the Discord, it's fantastic. Fantastic. Jen M, she's in the Discord a lot. She gives out really good information. And by the way, shout out to the person who gave out the Dodgers to win 2 in a row at plus money. I think it was plus 195. And Sia, I think you were all over that. I put a taste on that as well. So thank you to whoever posted that in the chat. That's why we're here. We're here to help everybody win. And it was just fantastic.
Yeah. Also here to be helped. And that's what happened on Friday when somebody suggested that. Amags reiterated it. And I ended up I got plus 200 right before opening pitch of game 6. So that was good. Buckets, is it your birthday? I want to get to soccer questions. Is it your birthday today? There's that allegation being levied in the chat. It's not your birthday, is it?
No.
All right. Well, somebody thinks it's your birthday, and now several people think it's your birthday.
I just mentioned his hometown, or not his hometown. I mentioned where he lives once, and now he's doxxed.
Yeah.
He has been stolen. I'm so sorry, Buckets. I didn't know
get you a
they'd
cake.
already did it.
Are we anywhere close to your birthday, Buckets?
No, August.
Okay. I knew that. August 5th, right?
I don't want to say it now because I feel like people are out to get me after Chip's little doxing fiasco.
Jeff Stenberg says Buckets is Atletico Royal Union, both teams to score plus 110. The greatest bet on the board today. He says, I smell goals.
Sia, are you good if I just run through all the soccer questions back to back, knock these all out?
I'm great if you do. Let's go.
Let's do that. Jeff Stenberg, I absolutely love both teams to score in this. Union Saint-Gilloise are a very annoying team to bet on because they're better on the road than at home. If they were at home, I might not take this, but I love how they're playing when they just don't care anymore. So that's a great look. Irish John said, does Buckets like Real Madrid to score twice? Buckets does like Real Madrid to score twice. I'm looking at a 2-1 score prediction on this one. I love this Real Madrid side, and I've already got them on the draw no bet. I don't mind that double down. Snug the Cat says Buckets thoughts on Derby versus Hull. Both teams to score at minus 115. I like it specifically because Derby County are finally finding good form. Back-to-back-to-back victories. They'll have a little bit of pride when playing at home here. Hull City are the better team. They probably win, but I do like both teams to score. Out of time, Olympiacos versus PSV over 1.5 in the first half is plus 150. I already like both teams to score and over 2.5 goals in that game. That's the one I recommended laddering, so I don't hate the first half look. We just want PSV to score early to force Olympiacos to respond. Danny Garcia, anything for San Diego FC versus Portland on Sunday? Not yet. We got to get through Champions League before we're looking ahead at MLS, but I will have something down the road. And then we got a question. I couldn't find it. Someone asked about a correct score in Napoli of Frankfurt 5-1 at plus 3,500. That's just a fun bet because all three of Frankfurt's games in Champions League have ended 5-1 so far. It feels like we kind of missed the train to take that one. I don't think it happens a fourth time in a row, but I also didn't think it would happen a third time in a row or a second time in a row. So sprinkle that if you want. Spurs versus Copenhagen. Last question. My best bet is not betting on this. Don't trust Tottenham Hotspurs in Champions League right now. This game could be 0-0. It could be 5-5. I don't know, so I'm staying off of it.
Wow, that was very good. Buckets, thank you very much for covering that. We've got some college football and maybe some college basketball questions. Chip, go ahead with some of the college football that you saw.
Oh, no, I was just readying myself.
Oh, okay. Well, so let's go with Chip. Sprinkle. Would we sprinkle the money line on Miami of Ohio or just take the points?
Yeah, I mean, at that point, like we said, we've gone from 3.5 to 3. Now it's at 2.5. If you just want to buckle up for the money line and the bigger payout, I don't hate that at all. My prediction is that Miami, Ohio can win this game, but it is very much a coin flip. So the best bet was with the value, but look, we promote an odds boost payout. Let's make it a big payout. Just take that money line.
I hear you. Big Cheesy gets big payouts all the time. He says Bulls team total under 120.5 minus 115. That's one of his favorite bets. But Tom, he wants to know, does ODU still have a shot to win the Sun Belt?
Yeah, they do. They need a couple things to happen. The loss to Marshall was horrifying for me because I have Marshall under 5.5 wins and I have ODU to win the Sun Belt, and they were a double-digit favorite in that game. So that's the game that really hurt them. But yeah, they still do have a shot to win it.
Katie Taylor says, got Embiid over 18.5 points at minus 110 last night. If you can still find it at that price, I would take it. Katie Taylor, super sharp. So always follow her picks. Jen is super sharp as well. Jen said, real quick, Buckets, she said, do you say address or address? I feel like that depends on the noun or the verb. If we're saying like to address something, that's how you say it. If you're talking about like a physical address, I would say address maybe. That's my address. I think I say address either way. Buckets, I found something out about myself. Buckets, go ahead.
One more, and I'd love Chip's opinion because I feel like Chip has a good pulse on like gold props and player props here. Slavia Prague versus Arsenal. Bukayo Saka to score or assist on DraftKings is minus 125. On FanDuel, it's minus 200. I feel like with no Gyökeres and no Zubamendi, Saka's going to be the guy that steps up for Arsenal. But also with that point difference, I don't know how we don't take that just at a book discrepancy, right?
What do I always want? The bus driver. I want the engine. I want to be who's going to be creating the offense, and that's Saka for sure. So I can definitely endorse that. See, I kind of think your Dukes have this in the bag. JMU's got the head-to-head win over ODU. I mean, they've got to slip up. Tom's right, but I like where JMU's kicking ass right now. So I think they end up winning the East Division. Because remember, Sunbelt's like one of the last places they still have divisions, right? Everybody else is doing the mega conferences. Sunbelt still got the East and the West. So in the East is much tougher. Obviously, JMU being a big part of that. I see a little Iowa over Oregon's been asked a lot. I'm already readying myself. I kind of think Ducks might kick their tail.
Mm-hmm.
What's the line?
Yes, yeah.
What's the line on that game?
The smart guys can't wait to run on. I don't know if this is the spot, man. I just don't know if this is the spot.
Yeah, it's going to be what's the trendy dog with fleas? Everybody's going to see that Iowa +6 at home, and you're going to be like, "Oh, buddy, Oregon, they've never been to Kinnick Stadium. They don't know about this, Big Ten weather." I don't know, man. They had a week to prepare for the Iowa defense. They did not look great against Wisconsin, and they might have needed a reset. I'm going to go with talent. I'm going to go with the better team. I'm going to be on Oregon in that position.
All right, let's transition to some golf talent. I'm going to only spend 30 seconds on this pick because we've got the early wedge tonight for the Worldwide Technology Championship. That's a mouthful. 7 o'clock tonight. It's me, Patrick McDonald, Jason Sobel, and Rick Gaiman. I mean, that is a fantastic 4 if I've ever heard one. Really fantastic 3 plus me. But either way, one of my outrights from that show is going to be Pearson Coody at 35-1. This is a guy during the fall swing who has started to play really, really well. He's been really good on the Korn Ferry Tour, started to play really well on the PGA Tour. And in this event, when you've got a couple of guys at the top or that are certainly household names, but not guys that are going to dominate tournament to tournament, and on a resort course like this where it really is going to take scoring and a lot of really low rounds, a guy like Pearson Coody can absolutely do that. I think this is a very good number at 35-1. I'll probably have 1 or 2 more reasonable outrights, something in the 20 to 50-1 range. And I'll probably have a couple of long shots in that 70 to 150-1 range for this tournament, because I do think long shots have a shot here. With all that said, that's tonight, the early wedge, 7 o'clock on this SportsLine YouTube channel. Make sure you tune in to that. Go ahead, Jeff.
Before we get out of here, Bruce Green wanted a NHL over. While NHL totals are not my strong suit, I would lean Utah Buffalo over. Both these teams are playing high scoring games, a lot of offense, not much defense. But again, NHL totals are very tricky.
Fair enough. Like the honesty there. Let's see. Can we get okay, that's from Bruce Green. Let's see. There was something Jeff Stenberg says, Michael Thorbjornsen. You'll have to find out tonight. I'm sure somebody will be on Thorbjornsen. I probably won't be one of them for the WWT. There was one other thing I needed to get to before the recap screen. Hand up if you guys need to answer a question. But greatest poet alive. I think he was saying it was his mother's birthday. 90th birthday. I wish you put her name in there so we could memorialize it properly. But either way, greatest poet alive. Greatest poet alive's mom. Happy 90th birthday. You love to see it, and hopefully you're having a great day. Buckets,
Maya
anything?
Angelou?
Maya Angelou, the mom?
I don't know.
Maya, yeah.
Oh, or just like I was trying to think of a female poet that's fantastic. Like one of the greatest alive. Or not alive. Wait. Yeah, not alive. She died.
No.
She died some time ago. Yeah. A great poet nonetheless. You had the first part right. Buckets, anything before we get to the recap screen?
I think we're all good at my end, Sia.
All right, let's get to the recap screen then. What a fun show. A lot of pronunciation issues. I made fun of the full stop thing. I need to get a yay or nay on people saying full stop. Put in no or yes to the chat if you like hearing that or saying it, or if you don't. I got Pearson Coody plus 3,500 to win the Worldwide Technology Championship. Again, we got the 7 o'clock show tonight. Miami of Ohio tonight, +3 in college football, says Chip Patterson. And then we go to soccer, Liverpool versus Real Madrid. Real Madrid, draw no bet, even money. PSG versus Bayern Munich. Bayern over 1.5 team total, -120. And Olympiacos versus PSV, both teams to score, plus over 2.5, -130. Thank you for the easy pronunciation, Buckets. TCU over 31.5 points this weekend. And again, if you're a SportsLine member, you got a really good line on TCU when Tom put it in way back on Friday. New York Islanders -148, says Jeff Hochman. He also has got the Ravens -3 on the road in Minnesota, -115 on Sunday. Then we get to our SportsLine pick and our producer pick. Nevada -8.5, -110. And our producer pick, Clippers first quarter, +2.5, -120. Really good stuff. Really, really good stuff from everybody in the chat and on the show. Thanks for joining us today. A lot of content coming your way on this SportsLine YouTube channel. A big thank you to Jeff Hochman, Tom Casale, John Eimer, and Chip Patterson. I know it sounds weird. I was saying everybody's real name, so I figured I'd go with John Eimer. Probably.
I just figured it was more doxing. We're just getting everything out there.
Yes.
Go ahead and read out my address.
John
Social
Winston
Security
Eimer.
number 999 hyphen.
I bet you didn't know his middle name was Winston. Chip Patterson, of course, Ben Wittenstein. Thanks on the 1s and 2s, the 6s and 7s, in front of the camera, but also behind the camera. Really appreciate you. Again, thanks to everybody in the chat. We'll see you here tomorrow at 10 o'clock. Buckets closes.
You know the law. Subscribe.
Nope.
You can't be wrong.
That's wrong. We rest our case.